Hello, I'm Ashley, and today we are talking to Jay, and we're talking about her journey through polyamory and how that affected her sex life. Hi, Jay, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
So we're gonna get right down to it. So a lot of people, first of all, don't know what polyamory is. So let's start there. So let's start with what it is, how you got into it, and how long you've been doing it.
Okay, so a basic general definition of polyamory is many loves. And the part that people get stuck on is the ethical part, right? So it's a part of ethical non-monogamy. So all of your partners that you have should know about each other. They don't have to intermingle. They don't all have to be in a sexual relationship, but they all must know of one another. That's the premise of polyamory. And my story was I started dating really young, and around 15, 16, I'm noticing like people are struggling. Once you start to look for examples of relationships, people were struggling with monogamy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't think I want to do that. And I also had an onset of my sexuality. I like girls and boys. So it's like, what if I have a boyfriend, but I like this girl? Or, I didn't want to limit myself at 16, but I had no idea what it was called.
Uh-huh.
So most of my life, I operated in a premise like kind of when I'm with you, I'm with you. When I'm not, I'm not. You won't know what I'm doing, but, so I kind of kept myself open so that I wouldn't have to be locked down to a relationship because I wanted to engage with other people. But then I think my early 20s, I think I was 20, I started swinging and I met some swinger friends who were polyamorous and they had a girlfriend. And I'm like, how does that work?
Uh-huh.
And their relationship and their connections with their partners looked like exactly what I had been doing all of my life. So I finally had a term for this life that I was creating for myself.
Uh-huh.
So that was kind of how I stumbled upon it, being out in the world and met some people who were doing similar things.
And so you've been poly for how long?
I can consciously say my entire adult life, but under the term probably since I was 20, I'm 41.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Question. So how does sex work in a poly situation? I know people assume, I get this a lot because, I believe in open relationships. I don't necessarily, poly is not necessarily my thing, but open relationships are. And so I get this a lot from women actually. And they'll say, well, why you want to have, if you're going to do all that, you just need to be single. Like they don't understand the concept of why you would be open with multiple people. So what does sex look like in your poly situations? What is that? What does it look like? I think.
Yeah, contrary to the world's belief, polyamorous people ain't just around having a whole lot of sex, right? Because you have to have your checks and balances in place. So if you are a
Correct.
married person and you have a new partner, that partner cannot make waves, right? Waves are going to happen because it's people, but um, you have to make sure partner on the left is good, partner on the right is good. You have to make sure you're good. Everything has to check out. So you have to vet this person properly. And a lot of times in monogamy, we don't really vet. You like me, I like you. We just going for it because we got the space to do that. I can't get somebody that could potentially cause a divorce over here. I can't get with somebody that can bring me STD because they wild over there. So I have to make sure their lifestyle aligns with my safety boundaries that will also keep this person out of a mental breakdown because everything over here is crazy. So you're doing so much talking and vetting and courting and dating before it even gets to a point of sex. We are talking about when the last time you've been tested, because I'm not going to hurt my other partner because I really like you.
Right.
And we have I had never in my life had heard of all of the ways you can protect yourself during sex until I met other healthily non-monogamous people. I hadn't heard of a dental dam until I was like 27. And I was like, what are these, Lord?
Uh-huh.
And then how you can get free prescription for female condoms, how you can get, a prescription and then get free condoms like this. Because these people are trying to protect their community. They want to love and love healthily. And just because, you have multiple partners, this is not a free for all. You got to make that thing work. And I was married. I am no longer married, but when I was married, one of our things was, put them on the radar. I don't require a lot of details. If you tell me, babe, I got this girl over here, I'm assuming everything but marriage. Y'all finna do everything. She could get pregnant. Like, I'm assuming everything, because most people kind of move very similar. So how you move with me is kind of how you're going to move with this person. I don't need every single detail because I kind of already know, right? But what I would like to know is when it crosses over those intimacy barriers, because then I know that, okay, well, you wasn't sleep with nobody else. Now we maybe need to wear barriers. Do we know about this person's sexual history? I don't want to know all of those things, but you and I have had that conversation that these are the conversations you should be having. So I have to trust you to know that you're covering your bases over there to cover yourself, because if you're covering yourself, you're also protecting me.
Correct. So like I tell people all the time, being open and poly, it's about having trust. So if you don't have trust, right? And if you can't trust, don't do it. If you can't trust your partner, or if you feel like my partner's cheating anyway, this is the way to solve that. It's not. Because they're already being dishonest. And you can't really be this. Well, you can, but you should be not go. You can, but you're not supposed to be dishonest and being ethical non-monogamous, because you're supposed to, the ethical
be
part
ethical.
is right. Everybody is supposed to know what is going on. So yeah, that's a thing that people don't understand. I've seen situations where people are supposed to be open or whatever, men particularly, and they're on these solo missions that their wives have no idea
about. And so how to CYA in those situations. I don't really want your other partners in our relationship business. However, I would like to have one conversation after we decide we're going to do this, so that I can know that we're all on the same page. She can say, no, I don't want to talk to her. Are you comfortable with the text? I just need a small line of communication with you to make sure we're all on the same page. I'm not calling him a liar. None of that. But this is for my own protection, to know that your wife is okay with this situation, or to know that your husband is okay with this situation. And like I used to tell my ex, one phone call, 5-10 minutes. We don't have to do a whole. And then I'm not about to sit here and you have me go, well, what is he like? No, ma'am, that's your relationship. You do that heavy lifting, figure it out. We are just trying to cover the ethical part. Like, yes, I am aware that you are in his life and that y'all will be practicing to build y'all foundation. So I'm good with that. I'm aware this is how long we've married. I mean, whatever little facts you need to make you feel comfortable, I'll give you that little tidbit. But this is not, I'm not doing the emotional work for y'all's relationship.
A question. So how long after you were married or did you start out being a poly marriage, or was it monogamous and then it transition to a poly?
So when I met him, your girl be outside, okay? So when I met him, I was leaving that marriage. So he's my second husband. My first husband and I were just swingers. It was all recreation. There was no purposeful, meaningful relationship during that marriage. Very short marriage, very, very short marriage. And when I left that marriage, I met my second husband. We were married almost 12 years. First date, I don't do monogamy. And this is what that looks like for me. You and I can be dating. First, you and I would build a foundation. I have to make sure we're solid. I can't bring other people in on fragility. That's not going to work. So I have to make sure we're fortified. I have to make sure we're good. And then, I'm never want to stop a connection. So I'm like, hey, I'm in this new relationship. How do you feel about being friends? I can be vetting this person for years while I'm fortifying this relationship, because I'm not trying to, because this person can be a life partner, but you my vacation. You may not be the husband material, but you solid as hell. So I'm not going to mess up what I want to do contractually, husband, kids, mixing of the finances, for somebody who I know got me, but can't have me all that way, because whatever their situation is. So I need to make sure that all of these relationships are running in balance.
So when you told your now husband on a date that I don't do monogamy, this is how it looks for me, what did he say?
His eyes perked up in the way a cheater's eyes do. Okay, cool. I ain't got to stop doing what I'm doing. And I was like, and then you didn't hear me. This is not a free for all. I'm not doing this just to collect bodies or, I'm free to do whatever I want to. No. So I could have been with him for 18 years with no other partners. I am still polyamorous because my heart is capable of navigating multiple romantic relationships without crashing and burning over here. It's not a all or nothing.
Okay.
And so he took that as, if she can do what she wants, I can do what I want. And then over time, when he saw that I'm sending him articles, what's this? Please read it. We can't work if you don't read it. I can't do this. I can't give you my cliff notes. I can't summarize it. I need you to understand it how you understand it. He was like, did you know that there was a type of it? I could see him getting excited about how he had lived his whole life. Now he is like, it gave him permission to be himself. And I think that's why our marriage worked, because I didn't shame him for wanting to go over here and see Sally and Jane and Sue or whatever. Because I'm like, he ain't running out of no da-da-da-da-da. You know, it's just a safety issue. If you're not practicing safe sex, what people don't really understand is a conversation first. It's a conversation. Most people aren't even having the conversations. Why can't you ask somebody when they was tested? But you can give them your whole salad and cookies and everything else, but you can't ask them about being tested. And he, told me that he like kind of struggled with that because he'd be so excited and he feels like that. I said, well, just make it your first conversation where you really don't know this person, is not vested. If they don't talk to you again, your feelings ain't hurt. Stop letting so much time pass and now you got a him and haw. I'm like, get some icebreakers. Hey, I think we gonna hunt. So when last time you been tested? How often you get tested? Who else you saying? Run it when it don't matter. That's when you have the difficult stuff because you have nothing to lose other than a little bit of interest.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
And so, okay. So husband was like, cool, bet.
Oh, right.
I'm going to do me. You gave him literature. So I'm assuming he grasped the concept of what poly was. Okay. And so how did y'all find y'all's outside partners? And then did you have partners that you guys shared together or were they separate?
I think every couple stumbles in and wants to do the triad thing. They think that's the easiest thing to do. And a triad is where an established couple meets a single woman or a single man, and then now it's this relationship of three. And they think it's going to be this glorious situation. That's the hardest relationship on the planet to juggle.
Why is that? Because I would assume that would be easier too. So why is that?
So a lot of people say that there are 4 relationships in the triad, but there are actually 7. Everybody has their individual relationship. So my relationship with myself, himself, herself, right? Then our relationship together, his relationship with her, and then my relationship with her.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? That's a lot of dang on relationships. And each of them require time. And each of them have to be compatible. You don't get to get my alone time just because you're my girlfriend. I want to sit in the tub by myself. I don't want to watch your show. You get what I'm saying? Nobody realizes that when you're merging those 7 connections, that they all have to balance out, because my professional life may not coincide with your free time.
Correct.
And that's when I want you. When it's your free time and you like, but that's my time, right? And then the hardest part of that is the third party, if they're not cohabitating. If that other person lives separately, they're alone a lot. We didn't have a date night. We just sitting around watching movies. We probably got matching pajamas. We have 15 years of history. We have kids. We're commingling finances. And this person is like, what the hell is in this for me? So if you're not cohabitating, that person is alone a lot. And then a lot of people want to close the relationship. Oh, she can't mess with nobody else but us. We have each other. That person doesn't have anybody else. Or you find a woman that has, I wouldn't say woman, a person, because it could be a man, woman. And you have that other person that has the equality spirit. You bought your wife a car. I want a car. You pay all her bills, pay my bills. We met you last Saturday. He wasn't paying my bills the first week he met me. Right. It's like we build up to this. Girl, you wasn't staying in the shelter when we was having to live in that Tahoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't build this thing to where it looks comfortable now. You came in and it's comfortable. You're like, you get a couch out of this. That's not what this is. And so they feel like if I enter into a marriage as an additional party, because I hate the word third, because it already puts you, at the bottom. You enter in as an additional party. They see like, this is an established oiled machine. Throw me in, coach. Get me in on the benefits. I want in on the 4K. Let's talk about the custody of these children. What? Like, they They come in and they want to pick up where y'all have started because they're afraid of being disposable. It's fear-based. It's the fear-based reaction. If these people are not doing all of this for me like they do for one another, it's not real with me.
Okay. I can see that
And
now. I can see
yeah,
that.
and the couple, most of the times, one of the parties in the couple doesn't want to dismantle the relationship. You have to dismantle the relationship. It can't look like a couple with a person. You have to dismantle it so now y'all can have a relationship. I have a friend of mine, they are in a triad and they no longer celebrate their original wedding anniversary because it's 3 of them now. They celebrate when they decided to be a relationship because it's their whole relationship. Yes, she can do a cupcake or something, but it's not a primary focus like, oh, we were married so many years. They let that marriage, that title, us as a couple, die, honor the relationship amongst the 3 of them. Because what is the point of that? We're all in this together. So then, and then, love happens at different paces, right? So this is the other hard thing. Usually, if it's a man involved, and men will chase you, men got that chase spirit, she gonna fall for the man quicker than a woman because the woman is gonna take her time and figure her out. She's not gonna be overly this and overly that, and a woman's gonna take her time because she has to feel that this person's soul is right. A man like, she got pussy, she cook, she cute, I'm game. He ain't, it doesn't take all of that for men. With women, we are like a fine-tuned, every skew, everything has to be aligned. And so you sitting there watching your husband fall in love with the new chick.
And that
nigga ain't ever want to go skating when I want to go skating. He take her skating every Wednesday. And so when
that has to
those things
stop.
start to arise, I tell people, lean into it. Your husband has this new spark, right? He's happy. Okay, he want to go skating now. Let's all 3 go skating. Or you took her Tuesday. Can you take me in 2 weeks on Tuesday? Lean into his adventurous spirit that he want to do something. Don't lean away and be pissed. Tap into it. If you got this energy, keep that energy. If he's dating someone new and he's invigorated and he's excited, don't dim his light by being jealous. Tap into it. And a lot of people...
What if you tap into it and he's like, no, I don't want to take you?
You're going to have to tell me why. Because you're physically able. You're interested in doing it. Or why is it that you don't want to do it to me? And see, that's the other part of the conversation people don't want to have. And if he say something like, baby, you complain every time I take you, right? So now, because this person is showing him like, I can have fun doing these things I wanted to do or my wife wanted to do because she don't complain, she's happy, she's grateful, but you complain every time, oh, my chips was cold, just, so it was like, I killed his joy in that. So now you just got to sit with that because that's real. You took something that he liked to do and you ruined it by your behavior, and it ain't had nothing to do with her. It was you. Just so happened in the same environment, she responds differently. Or he could be like, baby, you can't stand longer than 10 minutes. You want to do stuff, but then you're not physically able. There's a lot of different things like, I'm a heavyweight, baby. You can't do me on no dresser. We need a bed. We need a solid couch. So now we got this young little barely 200-pound and you stand up in the shower. Ma'am, don't you get your ass jealous about things you ain't got no business doing. Stay in your weight class. That man back is bad. So it's like, let's just be realistic about the expectations. And then if you get someone with a weight difference, an age difference, and then us dark-skinned girls that cut like my ex-husband, love them, right? Like green eyes, straight hair, and you be like, it's the potato salad. It was the potato salad, wasn't it? It was something, you got to come up with all the affirming things for yourself and stand in it, okay? Like, damn, boo, does she care? Because people have preferences, and just because your preference happens to be, it's such a tension with the dark skin, light skin thing. It's real. I mean, so much so that they make songs about yellow bones and red bones, and I'm like, ooh, right? So
it is.
When he bring one to you, you like, so now you got to sit with that. You got to unlock that. She didn't do anything to you, and she is deserving of love just as much as you.
So, question. Have you found that the not third party? What did you call it? Not the what you
the
call
additional?
It? The additional. Okay. So, have you found that the additional sometimes want to come in and be the wife or be the husband,
They
So
have
how
a
do you
whole
handle
title for
that?
that. It's called the
Okay.
cowboy or the cowgirl. They want to come in and rope your partner, right?
And so how
So a
how do
lot of
you handle
times,
that?
I used to teach polyamory classes in Dallas for a little while, and I had to get versed because, the Black community, it was always kind of hush. It wasn't something, so I had to study up. So you handle that by addressing, why are you polyamorous? Why are you here? A lot of the people that come in with that wrangling mentality, like I'm trying to pull you from your spouse, is because they're only doing polyamory. They're not polyamorous. So they join these communities that are open to dating in hopes of finding them a partner. And I don't care what nobody say on this planet, married men are attractive as fuck. Partnered men are attractive because it shows their ability to care, their ability to provide, their ability to procreate, stability. Oh, y'all been in your house 10 years? All of that is attractive. So they're like, these are men who are open to dating. They're settled. Sometimes they're financially mature. They can make kids. I see babies. They pretty, all of that shit is shiny and glitter to a woman that's looking for that. So I always ask people, are you polyamorous or are you just doing poly until you find a partner that you feel you can have your monogamous life with?
That's good.
Because a lot of single men, they're open to dating, but they're not trying to settle down. But a polyamorous dude will have you thinking you a whole ass second wife.
So how do you know? How do you know if you're just doing poly until you find a person, or if you're polyam? How do you know that within yourself?
So I always tell people, I ask them, I say, how do you see your romantic life at the end of your life? So my example is always, when I'm old and gray, I want to be sitting in my rocking chair, watching my grandbabies and great grandbabies out in my yard with my husband, wife, and our other multiple partners. My end of life plan is to be cohabitating with a whole bunch of old other people so we could be making TikTok videos like them people in that one nursing home. That is
Uh-huh.
my end of life romantic, multiple partners, one space, we owning land, we building some generational stuff for the grandbaby. If theirs is, I want the house, picket fence, the husband, the kids, it mentions no other people, you're likely not polyamorous. You're
So
doing this until you find your perfect monogamous partner, and this ain't the good pick from.
question. So do you think it could be just that is the vision they have in their head because that's all they're taught and that's all they know?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
sometimes people don't
And
don't know
and
it.
I'm perfectly okay when people say, I don't know, right? And then more bisexual women are just like, I want a man and a woman.
Uh-huh.
Right. So they're not like it's not a free for all for them. They just have this one thing that they want. And I don't like configurations. Like, don't, like, if you had a husband, like, we just looking for one other chick, open yourself up. Girl, get another boyfriend, get another girlfriend, do this, do that. Because it will all come together. But if you only have your mind set on that one thing, you're gonna be disappointed. Like, damn,
Why
it's
is
been
that?
20 people. Don't nobody just want to be with us. Because if you already have a script written, who's the actor?
That's
You already told this person who they have to be in your life, and that's so unfair. You have it pre-written out. You can only be my girlfriend, you this, you that. And this person's like, damn, I was just trying to love you freely. I was just trying to be in your life. You already told me what I can and can't do, because you have this tunnel vision of what it's supposed to be instead of just opening up and letting it be.
I think that's what I think. Even in monogamy, that people have that we have a script in our head of what love is supposed to look like and what our partner is supposed to do and be, and then we meet people and try to make them fit that character versus just letting people
Be.
be.
Just letting them be. And that's why we get divorced and stuff, because when I had to tell the truth to myself about my ex-husband, I was like, I don't think I loved him. I think I loved him in my mind, like who he was supposed to be. And then I was disappointed and hurt and betrayed when he didn't do all of those things my mind told me he was supposed to have done. Why? I've been thinking of this man since I was 5 years old. Why isn't he this person? Because he don't live in your head. He was not
Yeah,
birthed from your thoughts.
yeah.
This is a whole separate entity outside of it's no different than when you have a child. You have
And
all these
then
hopes and dreams, and then they pull a wee out in Walmart. You didn't raise that child to do that.
right. I read a quote that says part of parenting, you have to learn as a parent that when you have kids, you have all of these hopes and aspirations and dreams for your children. You have it all planned out. in your mind. And then you have to realize that my kids are adults. Then a lot of times they do what they want to do, and they do none of what, or it's not most of what you have planned for them. And then you have to be okay with that. And be like, you know what? You have to like grieve what the idea that you had in your head, and then learn how to be okay with what you have in front of you. And that is a great concept for relationships. We have to grieve the idea of what we thought it should be, and then be open to what it is. Like, this is really what it is. Okay, so question. All right, so y'all monogamous. Y'all y'all are poly, and y'all had various boyfriend, girlfriends in y'all marriage. Okay, so how did that work with like sex? So was it like, Tuesday is day, Wednesday your day, Thursday my husband day? Like, how do you schedule it all? How does everybody get satisfied? How does it work?
So once you get into the monotony of your life, husband and wife, right? It's kind of like you get it in when the kids are asleep. I am not scheduling that around your date. So I didn't have days where it was my day or whatever. Now, what he did, like, he had, I think, 3 girlfriends, and he would go do overnights. So that's their time. They doing whatever they doing because then he not
So
here.
you was cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Girl, I got that whole bed. I had some Doritos in a bucket, a book, you know what I'm saying? It was quiet, no snort. I got busy. You know, it wasn't about me, right? What was about me was this peace, this quiet time, this, I ain't worried about who getting a big piece of chicken tonight. We all just doing our thing, but it takes balance and it takes security to do those kinds of things. But and then so with the sex things early on, when I tell you I was jealous, but you can't talk to me for 3 days. I gotta figure out if you got an STD. It should show up in about 72 hours. I was real spiteful. I was real petty.
It was
Because
your idea.
it had already been, but that was kind of like me knowing that he doesn't always follow the rules, right?
Gotcha.
And then so with me knowing you're not a rule follower, instead of me saying this ain't gonna work for him, I'm trying to force my idea of how this works on him, and it didn't work for him. So instead
Okay.
of me just saying, well, this how he moves, so now I have to move differently to protect me. Because whether you're monogamous or polyamorous, regardless of your relationship structure, married or single, you should be protecting yourself because people lie or people have their own interests and people do things. And people want, well, I'm married. Married doesn't protect you.
It's not a prevention method
It's
being
not
married.
at all. So
So
somebody
how
had to
did
sit
you,
me down. Well, just like girls start condoms. That killed all issues. We just started wearing condoms.
okay.
No more issues.
So you started working with your husband. How did that work?
So if he was in between partners, he would go get tested. And he'd be like, look, we gonna take these condoms. I ain't been with nobody 3 months. He was like, we going back to what we know. But if he was seeing someone and like, I'm not a detail person. I don't need to know all your business. But my job is to protect me. So once I got into a healthy space about it, removed all of the jealousy, all of the tit for tat. Oh, he fucked her, so I'm gonna find somebody. All of that. When I got over all of that with him, he would go get tested and he'd be like, can we play ball now? So it was all about safety. Safety is paramount. We got these kids to raise and it's life or death. Let's not play the game. Let's not make it seem like it's not an imperative thing that we should be in pursuit of. But yeah, so we would go we would go get tested. And then if he started seeing somebody else, then the condoms went back on. That just killed all of that other dead. It was dead. It was dead.
Yeah, because you can't control what other people do, but you can control
You
what you
cannot.
do.
Exactly.
So I told women that all the time, like, I can't control what my guy is doing when he's not here. I can control what I'm doing though, and that's why I'm like on prep and I take Doxy Pep and all those things because I don't know what you're doing when you ain't with me. So I'm going to make sure I'm protected though, because people say a whole lot of stuff. Don't mean they're actually doing what they say.
That is very true.
So so let's say there's a couple who wants to be, who's interested in being poly. What kind of conversation should people have prior to going into a poly relationship? What should they talk about? What should they know?
Like you're going to buy a new car, right? You need to know your specs. You need to know all the intricacies. You need to know the model. You need to know all of that. Why do we want it to embark on this journey? If you are doing this to appease a cheating partner or to appease yourself because your partner is cheating, I call it controlled cheating. I call it controlled cheating. And so what controlled cheating is, you're doing this so that you can pick and choose the person that they're dealing with so that you think it'll hurt less. So if I'm there, at least I know they ain't kissing. And then like you're trying to control the cheater's environment, and you've already lost at that point. If you're or the women who are bi for the guys, so they're only sleeping with women because their husband wants to do this, that. Stop taking the L. Your boundaries should be respected. If he cheating, polyamory is not going to fix that.
It's not.
If they're lying, polyamory is not going to fix that.
So like on a sex tip, right? So how
Yes.
is it hard to be able to have to worry about pleasing multiple people? Is your sex life, do you feel like your sex life is better because you have multiple lovers, or is it more difficult?
It is so much better. It is so much better.
Tell me how so.
So let's just say you have a partner that's kind of touch adverse. You know, they don't really like to be cuddle. They don't really like to do this, but they like to fuck, right? Of course, people like to do the genital part, but not the other part. Your other partners can be where you express that fully sensual side, and the kissing, the touching, the romance, the other stuff your other partners won't do. And you're not collecting partners because your partner's not doing stuff. It's just that these are different people. So everybody holds intimacy at a different level. But those things that you have learned from other partners, because you can't have two partners that are not kissy, touchy, huggy, or whatever, but
Right.
one of them has some allowances that you can try to learn over here, like, oh, I don't want to cuddle, but our feet can touch. We can hold hands on the couch. We can, like they teach you other ways to reinvent the wheel. So it's like, it wasn't that bad just letting our legs touch, because normally they're, you get those people that are like that, or then you get the partner that's all over you all the time and you like, this is too much, right? So you learn how to, one, create boundaries, and you get a bigger appetite. Because you like, I know I can come from having my nipples sucked because so-and-so did this and this and this and this and that, right?
Did
So I'm big on consent. I'll say, when you do this, can you suck my nipple when you do that? And then consent in certain moments is sexy, depending on how you act and can depending on your situation. And so when you're learning more about yourself, you're learning how to be a better intimate partner to your partner. And then that's like, well, do you like your nipples sucked? With it creates an exploration, right? Because with the same person, you're doing the same thing all the time. New people bring new things, and then also it can revitalize your sex life. So
how?
if you're on a monotonous schedule, we only can fuck on Thursday, but you got this one boo, he like, I'm free every day at lunch. How long is your lunch? Go on extended lunch. So now, because I feel like a lot of people's sex drive die when they let it die. Like you can be having some chemical things, some surgeries, childbirth, kids, or whatever, but sometimes just getting finger popped in the parking lot can set you off and have you ready later. It doesn't always have to be a full session, but those things that are sparking interest. And some men are good with the staying on your mind all day. When you have multiple partners and they all kind of flirty, you be ready to go. You don't care who get it, who's next. When things die down, and I'm not saying use this to like spice up your sex life, because that is one of the absolute, because you're gonna be tired of talking before you even get to the bed. Polyamorous people do so much talking, and because they want it to be right, they don't want to hurt you. If they're healthy, they don't want to hurt you. We doing check-ins. How you feel about that? I know I went on a date and it went a little longer. You okay with that? I know I said I was call you at 8, but I was at dinner with so-and-so. All this talking because you're trying to be healthy in relationships. And so it brings a spark. And then I don't know how anybody else will, but I love 5, 6, 7, 11 good morning babe. Give me all the good morning, babe. You just got up. You just got up. Give me the good morning. Give me all the good mornings. And it's almost like a revolving door of reassurance. And when a woman is comfortable, she feels sexy.
Correct. That's correct.
So if everybody, and then usually men have this silent competitiveness. My husband's like, you talk to Marcus? Yeah. What'd he say? I know he ain't tell you look good this morning because he ain't see you. Like he do little like. So you right, stupid. But I like it. Give me some more. What else? What else you think Marcus ain't do, boy? Show out.
Right. What else?
Right. So you play the little game. You get creative. You get flirty. Because everybody knows about it. Nobody's jealous. My ex-husband used to be like, "You going on a date Tuesday?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going on a date Tuesday." So he'll make sure he's home before my date, and be like, "Right quick," because the kids is up. Really? He like, look. I may not see you till Wednesday evening, you know? So it's like, no, we trying to get it into the closet. You make time, you steal time, you do. And I'm like, we ain't had sex this much, but it's like, I
Ever.
don't know when I can get you because you are sharing your time with multiple people. So your sex life boost. And then it's sexy when you're talking about it. Oh, it's so sexy when you're talking about it. So now you know this person is tested and clean. Boom, my child on deck. Then, okay, so what's your likes and dislikes? All of that. So you got good stuff at home. And then now you anticipating all the time because you kind of got this fluid movement of sexual energy between partners. It's just call it what you want. It is just lovely when it's good.
So, okay, I'm talking about the pros. What are some cons?
Exhaustion and burnout and finite resources. So poly and po is a real thing. Okay? Poly
I've noticed that most of
is
the men who poly
is
are
a
poor.
real thing.
I've noticed.
Okay, not even so much, the folks that you ain't got no business with half a person, let alone three. But we gonna let you go, Charles. Go ahead, because if Ashley been cool with it, we
Right.
gonna let y'all make
Right.
it. But so it's you have partners that you care for, and you want to go to movies, you want to go to dinner. You're courting. This is a new person, but you just have to pay your car note and a mortgage, and you got kids and other things. And it's dope when you have a partner that's like, "Babe, I got an extra $30. Take it to the movies," or that's when I feel like the communal resources come in, or like I have some friends and they do, each person pays for the date every other time. It's like everybody, so because it's expensive dating now. And so that's one of the hard things is, you don't just always want to be sitting at somebody's house. And then what
You
if you
know,
don't like the other partner? I don't want to sit in your house and see you. Juggling the kids is a thing. It's like, you can't abandon your partner with the kids all the time. So that's one of the things. Of course, jealousy is huge. And like I said, most jealousy is fear based. It's lack of communication, lack of conversation. And sometimes you don't even know what you need until you see somebody else have it.
yep.
And you're like, I really wish he would brush my braids behind my ear like he does her. Like you don't know what you need until you see it. And then when you find out that your partner is capable of being a wonderful person
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of got some dusty nigga treatment, you'll fit.
Right. Right.
Right.
Excuse me. Yeah. Like,
What school did you go to that you acquired new skills? Like, why does one apply at home first? You feel some kind of way, but it's not that. And then I always try to remember who my partner was when I first got them. It's the same person. We just comfortable now. He don't have to do, and it's like keep me in the early dating stage. If we could stay like that forever in relationships, nobody will break up when you were the
yep.
sweetest person, the kindest person, the most attentive person. And when you were that person, that is why this new person likes you. Because you're putting your best foot forward and then you kind of get resentful, like, why am I not worthy of your best foot all the time?
Fine.
Now I got this comfortable funky foot, little
And
athlete's
I don't want
foot.
that stank ass foot.
Right. Yeah, you giving me the wrong foot. So yeah, but what I've learned is when you compare, you kill your joy. So
True.
like,
Comparisons for joy.
yeah. So let him be happy over there. Lean into it. Okay, he likes to go on dates now. He's more adventurous now. He likes to do this. Lean into it. Don't move away from him. Don't get an attitude because it's not personal. It's the new relationship energy that new people bring. Lean into it. The other hard things is, just the compatibility. Men don't vet. She cute. That's all she needs.
That's it.
And it was like, boy, did you know that all her children was in foster care?
But she cute though. That's all I care about. She cute.
Where you pick up from? Cause she did. And see, women, we gonna talk. And I'm gonna play like I'm your best friend cause I want to see what is up with you. That's why I'm gonna be wanting to know. I'm like, just tell me she exists. Cause if I know too much, I'm gonna be like, boy, something is wrong with you. I'm gonna judge you cause you sleep next to me and you want a girl that just got evicted last Tuesday. She can't come over here.
All right. Okay.
We can't handle nobody's crisis. It's like the poor vetting. So I try to say, I call it minding my relationship. I'm a mind my relationship because when you get all into that, cause you like, and you don't want to judge people because everybody is worthy of love, but it's like, damn, as an adult, if I am dusty on my last penny, I know I shouldn't be dating.
You should not. You should not. I
And my
stand by
friends,
that.
a lot of my women friends don't agree. Like, he should be doing. I said, here's the thing. Here, my grandma always told me, you don't never leave your house broke. You don't never leave your house broke. So if you broke, that means you at home enjoying that light bill that you pay.
Right. Enjoy your rent.
Enjoy it. The other thing of it, it's a safety thing. You walked out of your house with $3 to your name, and he done flipped out. Oh, bitch, you
Can't
ain't
get back home.
fucking. Whoa, how you gonna get home?
Yeah, can't get back home.
Y'all get to a place, he can't pay the bill because he thought you was gonna pay the bill because he think you big money because you a nurse or whatever your situation is. He thought he would get off. Y'all say y'all want to be equal. I thought you had it. This the restaurant you picked. These are examples that my friends have gone through because they left the house with no money. Then they call me. Can you come get us? You got $100. I can't leave the restaurant. They gonna cost me. No, ma'am. Yeah, I got it. But you gonna learn today because I keep telling you, if you broke, stay at home. Yes, it's nice if they pay for it, but what if they don't? There is no bigger flex than paying your bill and going home and never talking to me. That was a small price to pay to never have to put up with that foolishness.
Yep.
Small price to pay. A meal and a cab ride home to be done with you,
Priceless.
priceless.
I'll forget it
Okay,
every time.
it don't mean
Every time.
nothing. So it's
Every
like
time.
you have to be smart. So it's not like, oh, he shouldn't pay or anything. That's not what I'm saying. That's your own protection, your own safety. No broke dating. The other hard thing that I struggle with mostly with polyamory was pillow talk. Don't tell this motherfucker about me. I swear to God. Don't you do it. Cause I swear Ernest Neal don't know nothing about you other than that you're my husband. We
And
got
that's it.
kids. They know the basics. They know what they
Huh.
should know. I've never been one of those people that if me and my partner over here are going through it, I'm making this person emotionally bear that no. Now they kind of maybe feel like they in the middle because now they got to choose a side. And then what if all three of us are dating?
Right.
Mind
They
your
really
own
are to do that.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they mad at you, they gonna tell all my business. Oh, he told me that you. And I'm like, what you tell her that for? Well, we was just talking. Don't talk about me. Y'all supposed to be building your own relationship.
Don't talk about me.
Don't talk about me.
Don't bring me up at all.
No, she just needs to know I exist over here and I ain't bothering her. That's all she needs to worry about. LeNae cool. She don't
Don't
about.
talk
She
about me.
showed out.
Don't talk about me.
Don't talk about me.
I don't exist.
So, and the other part of that is like, I'm never going to be like, actually, does he fuck you better than me? Like, people having those conversations. First of all, if I didn't put my punani on you, it ain't none of your business. You don't
Right.
get to ask about my sex life unless I share it with you directly. We're not
Right.
doing that. So
Right.
now it's one thing if they like, well, do you and your wife have threesomes or do order? Because they just trying to understand, like, that's different. That's generic. It's almost public information at this point. You can probably Google an answer. But and when I was teaching the classes, I'm like, y'all are gonna have some fights when it's finding out that y'all are sharing each other's business. You have an intimate moment with your man, and he go home immediately and tell somebody else about it. It's a betrayal. It ain't nothing worse than trying to cut somebody out and then they learn that you had a razor bump. What? That's why you got razor bump, bitch. She
Right.
be out there like, nigga, what you just can't argue. You got to take the L on the argument. You can't even win because your razor bumps have now been exposed. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Y'all
being
talk too much.
silly. I'm being silly, but that kind of shit, they talking
Happen.
too much.
They talk too much.
Yeah. Like, no, let's not do this. Let's not do that. Yeah, no, we're not
So,
going to do that.
where can people, if people want to learn more about being poly and how they can get into the lifestyle, do you have a website or a social media they can follow?
So there is a very, very popular Black and Poly. It's called Black and Poly. It's on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. It's ran by a man named Ron Jones. Is it Ron Jones? I believe it's Ron Jones. As much as I used to talk to that man, I'm so sorry, Ron, if you're looking at this. And him and another friend of his, they started the website. Wow, it's been over 10 years, a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it has thousands of Black people who are Black and polyamorous. There are some others in the group, but you, of course, have to be an ally. And it's almost from Poly 101 to Poly 602. You know what I'm saying? You can get the doctorate in there, just gaining information. And if you go into that group, please don't come in the door just immediately talking about triads. You're going to get your ass handed to you. Because it's like, you didn't read the articles because it's an educational group, right? Because they're going to make that group will make you do the work. It is work for any type of relationship, but especially when you're trying to congregate the masses, you have to know what you're doing, or it's going to be a lot of broken hearts. It's just saying you an old girl. It's because you bringing other people into it. Um, there are a lot of books. I was gonna grab them, but I ran out of time. But so there are a lot of books that just have general information about polyamory. You can Google them, monogamous normalities that you have. You have to unlearn a lot of that because it just doesn't apply anymore if you're trying to come into this space. And if you're only doing polyamory, be careful. Don't. I mean, if you find you a spouse or whatever in this thing, be prepared to have that spouse have multiple partners because you're dealing with polyamorous people. And, some people go back to the mono side or they say that they're doing monogamy, right? But that's not where their heart lies. So, you got to be careful. But yeah, so there's a lot of educational things out there. A simple Google search, and you will find whatever polyamorous situation you want to. They have a lot of poly mixed groups.
It's helpful. I know about the two poly groups that you talked about. I was a member of one of them. I'm not anymore. I think it's the
Poly black
poly,
and
and
golden.
I think that's the one I'm a member of. But I got out of there like a while ago. But yeah, so this was very informative and
Yeah, well,
helpful.
yeah,
So thank you for joining us tonight.
absolutely, absolutely.